Hello, my name's Mandy and I'm the leader of Children's Church at Fylde Christian Service Church. Today's story is one that you've probably heard before. It's called the Good Samaritan. Now, as well as teaching people about God and how to please him, Jesus wanted to show people how they should treat one another. Once, one of the religious leaders asked Jesus a question. What must I do to go to heaven when I die? Now, Jesus knew that the questioner was a clever man who was really trying to trick him. So he asked another question in return. God gave us a law to tell us how to please him. What does it say? We must love God with all our heart and love our neighbours just as much as we love ourselves, answered the man. Then that's what you must do, replied Jesus. But who's my neighbour? The clever man asked. And so Jesus told a story to answer him. Now, the road from Jerusalem to Jericho goes through a very lonely country where there are plenty of rocks for robbers to hide behind. Nobody liked using the road, especially when they were on their own. Now, one day, a traveller set out from Jerusalem, and sure enough, before he had gone very far, a gang of thieves leapt out and attacked him. They snatched his bags, stripped off his cloak, leaving him badly hurt. He would certainly die if no one came by to help him. And here we have the picture. It's actually quite difficult to see. I'm hoping you can see it. Of the man being attacked by robbers behind a rock. Oh, it must have been very scary for him, wasn't it? As he lay there, he heard footsteps coming along the road. Being too weak to shout or move, he felt sure that whoever it was would see him. The passerby was a priest. He was going to Jerusalem to pray in the temple. He did notice the man, but he was too scared to stop in case the robbers attacked him too. So he walked past. A little later, another man came down the road. He was on his way to the temple too. He looked at the wounded man, and then he crossed the road as well and went on his way, leaving the man lying in the hot sun. And here we have, look, here they are. Here's a priest, and he's going, and you can see the man lying on the ground just here, and he's hurt. And he must have been very, very scared when they walked past and left him to it. Then another man came along. This man was a Samaritan, and he was riding on a donkey. The Jews and the Samaritans hated one another, but this man felt very sorry for the wounded Jew. He got off his donkey. He searched in his bags for some cool oil and wine which he had with him, and he used them to clean the man's cuts. Then he tore up his own clothes for bandages. He lifted the man onto his donkey, and he took him to an inn where he looked after him all night. Here he is, look. He's bandaging him up, and he's torn up his own clothes so that he could do that. The man must have been quite relieved that somebody was looking after him. The next morning, the Samaritan had to go on with his journey. He gave the innkeeper 2 silver coins. Look after him well, he said. If you have to spend more money, I'll pay you back when I come back this way. Now, here he is, bringing the man in, hurt, and he's saying to the innkeeper, you look after him. I'll give you some silver coins, and you can look after him, and when I come back, I'll pay you the rest. And here he is going on his way, on his journey, on his donkey. Jesus said, who do you think really cared for the man who was robbed? The The one who looked after him, came the reply. And the clever man didn't actually like to admit that it was a Samaritan, one of the Jews' enemies. So Jesus said, then you must go and behave in the same way. That was a good story, wasn't it? Telling us how we need to look after everybody around us. It doesn't matter if we don't like them very much. We've still got to care for them and look after them and make sure they're okay. And then they'll do the same for us when we need help. That's what God says, and it's what he means when he says, look after your neighbours. It's not just the person living next door. It's the people that you see in the street. It's everybody, even people right the way across the world. So when we're doing that, we're doing what God has asked us to do. Now that's because our God is a great big God. He looks after everybody all round the world. And he asks us to do the same. So now we're going to sing one of the songs we've done recently. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can do the actions better than me.
Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. He's higher than a skyscraper. He's deeper than a submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And he's known me and he's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. He's higher than a skyscraper. He's deeper than a submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And he's known me and he's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. Our God is a great big